This video is just a quick preview of one of over 200 step-by-step percussion lessons included in our Conga Chops membership. So don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and head over to congachops.com to start your free 7-day trial and check out everything we've got on the site.
It's time for us to focus on the other incredibly important half of the bongo player's arsenal in popular Afro-Cuban derived music, the cowbell. Just so we have some background information, song music as we know it today, which is synonymous with the bongo, begins to take its current form after making its way from the rural areas of eastern Cuba to the urban landscape of Havana in the early 1920s. The traditional 6-piece sexteto ensemble format for song music consisted of guitar, tres in rural ensembles, or piano in urban ensembles, marimbula in rural ensembles, or acoustic bass in urban ensembles, bongos, and 2 singers who often played maracas and clave. A trumpet would later be added to create the 7-piece septeto format. In these formats, the bongo was always the primary percussive timekeeper. With the evolution of the conjunto ensemble format in the 1930s by the legendary Arsenio Rodriguez, who famously added another trumpet and introduced the conga drum to song music, along with more complex arrangements, the bongacero's role and responsibilities changed considerably. The bongo would go on to have a bit more freedom to embellish during the verses, now that the conga was the primary timekeeper. And in the sections of the song where refrain and ad-lib were performed by the singers, known as the coro y soneo or coro y pregón, the bongo player would put down his drums and switch to playing a handheld cowbell. This was mainly due to the fact that by switching to the handbell, the band was able to achieve louder dynamics as a whole, bringing up the volume a bit, and the bell provided a more consistent half-note pulse throughout the higher energy sections. Thus, the bongo bell, as we know it today, would become a staple in many genres of popular Afro-Cuban derived music. Here we have a lower-pitched LP-ES9 bongo bell and an LP Duro cowbell beater. It's a pretty average length bell with a bit wider opening at the mouth than most. The first thing we want to do is make sure to hold the bell and the stick in a comfortable position. Depending on the size of your hand, you may feel that you need to hold more of the bell or less of the bell from this bottom end. Generally, I like to hold the bell right about here, so that I can support the weight and leave these fingers available to mute the bell when necessary. As far as the beater, you can use whichever grip you'd like, but I like to have at least a bit of the stick coming out from the bottom of my hand to help me find a nice balance between the strength of my grip and the weight of the stick when I go to strike the bell. So let's take a look at some of the basic sounds we can get out of the bell and start working on the way we want to strike it. The first 2 tones we'll learn are used to keep time on the instrument, the open tone on the mouth of the bell and the muted tone on the body of the bell. Let's play a few open tones while we get used to the weight of the stick and do our best to get a consistent sound. We'll strike the bell right in the middle of the mouth while keeping our fingers away on the underside of the bell to let the open tones really resonate. The key to a consistent sound here is to try and strike the bell in the same place with the same part of the stick. Some players also achieve this tone by using the fingers in their hand that holds the bell to muffle it slightly and compensate for any unwanted overtones. Remember that we do want the bell to have a nice ring, but we also want to make sure that the fundamental pitch isn't getting overpowered by the overtones. So this technique will depend heavily on the player, the bell itself, and of course the sound we're looking to get. So I'll play 4 open tones on the mouth, followed by 4 open tones that are slightly muffled, just so you can hear the difference in the overtones. Let's move on to our muted body tone, which we'll also use for timekeeping purposes. We want to strike the mid to